The January LSAT is not too late for applying to law school this cycle, and there's still plenty of time to improve your score significantly between now and then. Today, I'll walk you through what I would personally do if I wanted to score 175 on the LSAT in January or beyond. For those who don't know me, my name is Steve Schwartz. I've been teaching the LSAT since 2005, and I personally increased my LSAT score from a 152 to a 175. I made a lot of mistakes back when I was studying for the LSAT, and one of the biggest ones was just taking test after test after test from those previously administered LSAT practice tests, aka the prep tests. What you don't want to do is burn through valuable practice material and burn yourself out in the process. It's much more effective to build your foundation first. Now, the LSAT, of course, no longer has a logic games section. I hope you're not using outdated materials that contain logic games. You want to focus your attention on logical reasoning and reading comprehension. There are a lot of different types of logical reasoning questions, and reading comp isn't exactly a cakewalk either if you're new to the LSAT. But the good news is logical reasoning is 2/3 of the test. So what you don't want to do is just walk through the entire curriculum, building that foundation and making the mistake of devoting equal attention to every part of the LSAT, because not all parts of the LSAT are equally important. Some question types show up more often than others, and the logical reasoning section is 2/3 of the test. The reading comp section is only 1/3 of the test. And so you don't want to spend your time obsessing over little question types that hardly ever show up. Focus on the lowest hanging fruit that's going to give you the biggest bang for your buck, to combine two metaphors there. The idea being, focus on logical reasoning since it's 2/3 of the test, and within logical reasoning, focus on the most common question types like necessary assumption, inference, and flaw. These are the three most common types of logical reasoning questions out of the roughly 15 different question types within the logical reasoning section. We want you to focus on the most important parts of the LSAT rather than getting stuck in the minutia, which is why at LSAT Unplugged, we create personalized day-by-day study plans for all of our students so that you can avoid wasting valuable study time and focus on what matters the most. If you're interested in finding out more about joining one of our programs on your journey to scoring 170 or above, you can check out the links below to book a call with me and my team. We'd be glad to help you out. So to recap here, my biggest hack for getting a top score on the LSAT in January or beyond, given the new LSAT format, is double down on logical reasoning, since its importance is now doubled on the new LSAT format, and spend your time on the most common question types. You might want to drill these question types by type to get a better understanding of the proper perspective from which to view each of these question types, but you don't want to wait too long before doing individual timed sections to work on your pacing and get accustomed to seeing each of these question types in the context of a full section where you're going to get a grab bag of these types thrown at you. I find that far too many students love to drill questions by type because they get the immediate feedback of seeing, did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? What's the explanation? On LSAT test day, you're not going to get that instant feedback. You're not going to get your score back even for 2 to 3 weeks. And so you want to get used to not getting that feedback and having to move on to the next question in that section. You also want to move from pacing to endurance and do several full-length timed practice tests before the big day, so that test day itself will be like just another run-through. I recommend doing at least 10 of these in total and work on your pacing and endurance, not just your accuracy. Maybe do one timed exam per week if you're working or you're in school. If you are in the fortunate position to do nothing but study for the LSAT, you might want to do 2 timed exams per week, review them in depth, and drill some weak areas on the side. Of course, you can go it alone with self-study. Even better is getting personalized support, either one-on-one or in a small group program. At LSAT Unplugged, we offer both of these options. Again, links below to find out more. We'd be glad to help you out. And of course, you do not want to neglect the review process. It's far too easy to look at the answer key and say, oh, I get it now. How could I have been so dumb? Or you Google for an explanation on a forum or you watch a video. But the problem is that the explanation is not personalized to your thought process. This is why I've developed the Socratic review method, a templated framework to help you systematically pinpoint exactly where your mistakes are coming from, the stimulus in logical reasoning or the passage in reading comprehension, the question stem, and the answer choices. The idea being here that you want to determine exactly what threw you off, what led you astray, what tempted you, so that you can avoid making the same mistake again. However you prep for the LSAT, whether you're self-studying or not, you want to take that extra moment to figure out what is the key insight that I can get from having gotten this question wrong or having had difficulty with it, so I can avoid making the same mistake again, because the LSAT is a test first and foremost of pattern recognition. And you want to take each question you get wrong or have difficulty with as an opportunity to learn something new. And so take that extra step. It's better to do fewer questions and review them in more depth than to only scratch the surface. Anyway, folks, that's all for now. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.